KSL, it's time to start our next best of 5. ACDP, Soulkey versus Mini.
Yeah, it should be a really good match. Obviously, Soulkey, me and everyone else who knows anything about StarCraft 1 have been talking up for a long time because really, when you watch Soulkey's play, you can't name a Zerg that looks better when he's playing well.
Yeah, if you know anything about StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2 or RTS, Soulkey's supposed to have won several tournaments. Keeps not happening. We're going to be right one day.
Yeah,
okay?
it's got to happen
And then
eventually.
you'll be apologizing, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And will we accept it? We don't know yet. We're
we
gonna
haven't
see.
made up our minds on that yet.
Now, Mini, on the other hand, this is like one of our up-and-coming Protoss players still, but he's...
Are we, like, changing in brightness?
Yeah,
right now?
the lights, I think, are going a little bit crazy, or our monitors are.
I'm like, did we just die and go to heaven now? We're really bright and stuff? This is where I find out you get in and I go to hell. I'm like, damn.
Everyone
I was a
already knew
bad
that was going
person.
to happen, Tasteless.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
Oh, yeah, Mini. I mean, he's really good. He's one of the top Protoss players. He has flubs occasionally.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as we like to say, his mentality is exploded.
His mentality has been exploded, yes.
Yeah. Every now and then, someone's mentality will explode, and he is oftentimes the one who has that happen. So,
well, he's had some funny games in the past, like this game on Sparkle, where he's like, I think a shell could reach across the map.
Well, that's just like one of the funniest mistakes ever. That's like
rough. But I think that he's not.
People will make fun of me until the cows come home about trying to execute my own Sylvanas, but that was the same type of level where you look at it, you're like, how stupid is this? Like, what is wrong in your head right now? You know, I don't think he's ever going to make a mistake quite like that again.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to bring his absolute best game to beat Soulkey because Soulkey, again, if he's on, no one beats him really. Like, for a long time, he had the best win rate in the world against Flash even. So that goes to tell you something. But there keeps on being upsets. There's days. I tell you, his series against Mini that he already had in this tournament was definitely a kind of dirty series, down and dirty, kind of definitely some mistakes on both sides, which can happen and is fine. It's Brood War. But against Mind, I feel like his mentality exploded. There's no better way to say it.
And after the exploding of said mentality, I mean, how do you recover?
Yeah.
Look, I think it's going to be a tough one for Mini. I think PDZ is tough for the Protoss early on. We've seen Zergs really show just how many ways there are to exploit the Protoss, to punish them, to stop them from getting to the point where they get Psystorm, sometimes to stop them from getting enough cannons up in time. Soulkey's somebody who's known to want to do that, but he's also fine staying back with his defending. So what does Mini have in store here? The Protoss doesn't have to fast expand, although they oftentimes do. You can proxy gate, you can do other alternative builds. We've seen players like Best do that before as well. Builds from different eras.
I like that Mini can mix up his play and play some really off-brand Protoss from time to time.
Yeah.
He can be a little bit crazy. People are afraid of that aspect of his play. But he lacks a little bit of the solidity of some of these other Protosses. You know, it's, again, mentality exploded, etc.
Yes. Man, I'm hoping we have some good long PvZs. Sometimes PvZ can end right away.
Yeah.
One thing about Soulkey, though, is he's actually got some of the scariest macro play ever. Like, it's no problem.
Yeah.
He makes it look easy. In fact, what was the game we had where Soulkey 7-pulled somebody and it didn't work, and then he wanted a macro game? It's like,
yeah,
okay.
wasn't that a ZVT even?
Yeah, which is even worse.
Yeah, it's
even
worse
more
than
impossible
coming back
to do.
in a ZVP.
Yeah.
A ZVP, you can kind of dance your way to a victory. And a ZVT, it's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is not going to
That was on
happen.
Gladiator. That was a crazy game. I can't recall who it was against. Maybe it was Mind or something.
Was it Gladiator?
It was Gladiator for sure, 100%.
Yeah, kind of an odd moment when that happened back there. Anyways, we're going to go on to Heartbreak Ridge like we always do to start off our best of fives. Now, there are a lot of cool strats you can do with either race on this map.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Like something cheesy.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Okay.
So let's see if we have
definitely-
anything like that this time around.
We've seen a lot of Ling all-ins here already.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't been working so much, though, because Protoss knows that can come.
Yeah. Well, we are moments away from hopping into this game, man. Soulkey versus Mini. As we get closer and closer to wrapping up the season of the KSL, this best of 5 is ready to go. Let's hop into game 1 right now. got exactly one person cheering in the audience. That was. And it was only for one player. Didn't catch who it was.
I just heard a fighting. I'm not sure who it was at all.
Yeah, it might have just been for everybody.
Could have been.
You, me, production, the players, the guys. Let's just get
The
through
audience,
this.
yeah.
Let's all just do our very best.
Hey,
It's Mini.
that pro.
Oh, yeah. There's
look
a
at
probe
that.
center. Well,
He's going to proxy gate.
well, see, guys. I said you don't have to play standard. You can just go in and.
How does the proxy 2 gate do against overpool? Oh, is it a
it's
cannon
good.
rush? Or is it a proxy 2 gate?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things you can do on this map. I mean, the pro's been sent out. He has to make the pylon immediately when he gets to 100 minerals.
He was at 130 minerals.
Yeah, and that's what's going to cost him, all right? When he loses, we're going to go back to that. So with this, you can wall in. Oh, from Costa Rica. Yeah, we met.
Just met them.
Earlier on.
Here in their honeymoon.
That's
no
right.
better place to go.
Exactly.
Let me tell you.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about this rush that's coming in here. You can try to wall in their entrance and get a little cannon up there.
Yeah.
And it's actually really annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
Or he might just go 2 gate. You know, you can see Zerg always wants to check on the high ground.
Yeah.
Are we going to get a 2nd gate?
Yeah. We're definitely going to see a second gate. Does that answer your
There
question?
it is. Yes.
Okay, so with this, wait, is that a second gate or is that a forge?
Should be a 2nd gate, I think.
It is, yeah, that's a second gate.
I was wondering, though. I thought, like, well, I wonder if there's something you can do with a forge here, but probably.
Isn't part of the reason why people overpool so that this build is not really that scary?
Well, people overpool. I think that exactly. People overpool because it stops straight up cannon rushes. It makes it completely useless. But two gate garbage. Your garbage builds won't beat me this game. You're gamble. Not gonna do anything. You don't even know how to play straight up. But 2 gates against someone who's going for 1 hatch right away, you can actually start to win the fight. Every Zergling's super important.
Yeah. What are the Zealots? Are they important too?
No, they don't matter at all. It's all about this.
I'm going to be really helpful during this cast, I want you to know. Okay, that Zealot's going home.
Yeah. He must be confused about which starting location his opponent's at. No, the thing is that if the Zlings try to go by, then you have a Zealot back at home ready to defend.
Yeah, and they are trying to go by.
So he's got the Zealot. The position of the pylon and the gateways is important. A lot of times Zergs will try to keep the Lings in the middle, threaten the main. You can see the Sunken Colony makes it so you don't die immediately, or at least you won't lose drones right away. But this Zealot heading back home is very important.
And his speed is on the way right now for Soulkey as well. What do you do at home? Do you have to make a cannon here?
I think you got to play it by ear. I think probably just keep making probes, get a cannon up there, and then just try to continuously deny the extra hatchery that they're going to try to make. Because they're on 1 base. Protoss is okay being on 1 base. Zerg, the longer the game goes, is not okay doing that. And what's funny about this is, so far, Mini's basically successfully kept Soulkey on 1 base. And in fact, the 2nd hatchery is made over here in the main.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's handsome.
Now, we have a lot.
I'm going to call that a tasteless hat.
I'll take it. No, he's actually okay because there's not, most of the Lings were shut down pretty heavily over there at the entrance, so he's actually getting really good exchange into this. Now, are there no more Zealots in the main, though? Did I miss this?
I don't know if there are. Yeah,
Oh, no, he's in so much trouble. I'm sorry. I thought there was one more Zealot back there. But yeah, I guess it would have made sense that the Zealots would be out on the map like that. So actually, I think Mini might just lose this. If you have the Zealots over there, and I guess it would have been good to get a forge after this.
I would think so.
The problem is when Soulkey does stuff like this, he makes it look so easy. It's like, oh yeah, well of course it's how you stop it.
Well, that Nexus is going down pretty darn quickly.
Yeah, what you do is you can hit the Nexus, then when the probes come, they're like, stop! And then you kill the probes, and they're like, stop! And they go back and hit the Nexus.
Yeah, this is looking pretty brutal for Mini right now.
Yeah. I'm like, no, he's fine.
I know, he's fine.
He's fine.
It's 1 base versus 1 base. He's fine.
Protoss just come back from stuff like this all the time. Yeah. Sure, there's no pylon there. It's not important. Doesn't matter. There's pylons back at home. Yeah. Wow, that's the one they got. That's the one that got him.
Oh my God, Spy has piled down.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Well,
Oh,
we're gonna
this
see.
is so funny.
We're gonna see
Oh
this
my
game
God.
end pretty
As
quickly.
if those pilots.
It doesn't matter.
That's
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's like the only thing in the game where it has to be in the same spot. It's paramount that the pylons are next to the buildings that must power.
Yeah. Oh man, that's just so stupid. Thank you, Tasteless.
I feel bad for Mini here because like he's still playing. That being said,
I do feel bad for him too.
I feel bad because he's sitting there like, well, this is just horrible.
Yeah. Well, he went down to 5 probes.
These Zelts are like, we got a plan, and then this is so bad when you're Protoss and this is happening because you're just like, oh god, like once you find out you're in the wrong spot, it's like, well, those are dead, that's gone. Now, it is 2 bases for Zerg against 1 base for Protoss, but the Zerg is going to have way more ability to move forward.
Yeah.
This is basically, okay, there it is, Shishi. Let's zoom in on that drone.
Okay. Well, that was
fun.
oh yeah,
It was fun for everybody
That
but
was
Mini.
a hoot, Tasteless.
Yeah.
That game.
We're going to go back and watch that one.
Yeah.
So basically,
I got to study those.
you got to study that, yeah.
I really liked the proxy 2-gate and to send your first sellout home. That was my favorite part. What about you?
Actually, I think the send the first Zealot home was correct. I think
Yeah.
the problem was he sent Zealots back out. He was trying to balance between making sure that his gateways in the middle of the map were okay,
Yeah.
and then making sure his main was okay, and there were actually way too many lings that had gotten out. Mini had to get the wall-in set up over at the main and block out more lings from coming out, and I think he had a chance.
Well, lost way too many probes there. Wasn't much of a chance after that.
No.
So Mini goes down 0-1. Very one-sided loss there. It didn't seem like he was that distressed. I think that when you have prepared a build like Proxy 2-Gate and it doesn't work, if you're going to beat yourself up over that, then
can't.
like
You're going in swinging, and it's
you can't expect that to always win.
There's so many different ways that a game can go as well in a Proxy 2-Gate, and I think he had the right idea, but the execution was not quite there. Also, again, Soulkey always seems to be thrown into an odd situation and handle it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like he just has all the answers.
Well, he's super smart.
You're right, Artos. He is super smart, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good takeaway from this. Now, that's not to say that Mini is super dumb, but also Soulkey wears glasses, okay? Let's just get all that.
Makes him look as smart as he is.
Yes.
It's a great way to do it. Oh, my God. I love casting PPZ.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to Roadkill here for Game 2. Now, this is the map that Mini's chosen because loser picks in Season 2 of KSL, unlike Season 1 where winner picks.
Yep.
And we end up with lots of 3-0s. We're like,
No, he's had a much better season already.
oh, yeah.
Still has upsets, though, which is fun.
Okay. Roadkill. This is a map where Protoss will probably try to do a fast expand.
So Mini chose this despite it being 0-7 against Zerg.
Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean the most.
I
Like,
guess it all depends
I
on
think
where.
in some of the
which-
games, it's like a lot of Jadon games are counted here.
That's
right?
true. Stats can always be misleading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's all going to come down to which side of the bones in the middle of the map he decides to put the proxy gates this time, Artosis.
Does he put him near the head or the tail? That's the question.
That's the question. Well, it depends on where he
Jeez.
spawns, you know?
Yeah.
In all seriousness, we should see fast expand either Forge right away or Gateway and then pressure into Forge. But I'll say, man, if Mini loses this after Protoss is not winning any games against Zergs on this map, he might be questioning this decision. Game 2 is ready. Let's go.
Still killing me, Tasteless. See, he doesn't have Piler. It doesn't matter. He has something. It's
Fine.
me.
Yeah, it's no big deal. When you were really young and you were like learning StarCraft, did you have a guy or a friend that like also played and you look back on everything they ever said and they were completely wrong? Because I had this kid that I went to middle school with, and he would always argue with me about the game. And you know, the game's like a few months old, so everybody's still learning it. But I look back at all this stuff that he would say and how crazy it was.
Yeah, I
People
did have a
totally-
friend like that, and I actually still know him to today.
Yeah.
I cast StarCraft with him weekly.
Nice.
Oh.
Well played. Whoa!
Get
Boom! 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 Boom!
Get out of here, tasteless. What is this pylon in his main?
Uh-oh.
What is that? What? It's not even like near the ramp or the nexus. What is
Well,
he
here's
doing?
what's crazy about this too is you're on low ground on this map.
Yeah.
So
Like, what is this? What am I seeing? Tasteless, tell me.
I don't know. I actually don't know what he's doing. He's just gonna make a gate.
He's going to 2-gate from his main this time.
Well, I don't know what to say.
So he's going gateway, so this must be one base, PVZ, and I'm actually, really, for a moment here, you know pretty well one base PVZ.
Well, let's see if he gets a gas or if he gets a 2-gate. Because if you played for a long time,
Oh my god, it's 2-gate.
yeah, it's. I think actually the 2-gate opening now is. Look, this is a different 2-gate than it used to be, like 19 years ago.
Yes.
This is one where I think you get enough zealots to hold off an attack, and then you go get gas. We've seen Best do this. It is very, very hard to pull off. Although, to be honest, if for those of people who are kind of familiar with this, you'd be surprised how much this can work on ladder, because a lot of the younger players have never really had to deal that much with this.
That's true. You can bust out some of these older strategies.
Yeah.
Can you run us through it a little bit? What his goals are?
Well, hold on. Let me just see if he actually is going to be able to. Okay, he's not going to block that. The idea is that you want to try to tech up. I believe you want to try to get a Stargate, but there's also other odd things you can do. And then you try to basically get Templars and tech up and try to get a base. It used to be the old 2-gate was that you would try to put pressure on with Zealots. I was wondering if he didn't put the Zealot at the ramp because he wanted the drone to turn around.
It might be, yeah.
You know?
I think that is a valid idea.
So I'm overclocking my brain here trying to map this out. This is kind of an odd choice for Mini to do this on this
It
map.
is.
But, yeah, we don't have any gas taken just yet. Now, yeah, you can make a lot of Zealots early on and try to attack into the other player. It basically was deemed not as strong a long time ago. And so what we have here instead is an alternative where he gets a Nexus up. The problem with this is that it's a wide berth. Think about all the PDZs you've seen over the past few years. They have Wallens for a reason, because Zergs can exploit the fact that Zealots aren't fast, the Lings can run by, or the Hydras can come up there and gun down cannons or Zealots or anything else. So what he's doing is he has these 2 Zealots trying to hold this off over here. Then he has the Probe and the Zealot here to stop any scouting from coming in. But you're trying to do everything with the bare minimum.
Don't you normally get cannons with this?
Oh,
Like
I think
before your tech?
I think you pretty much have to.
I think you have to get 2 cannons.
I am kind of reluctant to call anything because we get to see this so rarely at this level of play.
Yeah.
And it's for good reason, too, because there's a very high chance that Soulkey looks at this and just comes in for the punish, especially Soulkey. So he comes in here. Soulkey's more interested in scouting and taking out the probe because he says he needs to know.
Yeah. So there's the Forge, but there's a lot of Lings in the base. Soulkey taking his 3rd.
One thing that's hard for the Protoss when this is happening is that it's hard for the Zealots to ever try to counterattack, right? You can actually keep the Protoss stuck at home with a small number of Zerglings. But I think now with those 4 Zealots, he should have enough to wall off that entrance, get this expansion up.
Yeah, he should be driving a cannon, I would say.
Yeah.
It should make him feel a lot better.
I'd say 1 minimum. I don't know if you want to get more because if you make too many more, the Zerg can tech out of this. We're eventually going to have to check and see what the tech actually is from the Zerg, by the way. If he's getting a layer or a Hydra Den or anything. I guess it's just drones for the time being.
A few Lings popping out here and there. Now, Mini's tech just feels extremely late compared to a normal game. Obviously, Soulkey had to be a little bit more careful with creating drones or tech.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's as late as it feels like it is.
Is it not?
Because the Zerg hasn't actually gotten any tech up either. What happens is they both had to invest minerals in Zealots and cannons and Zerglings. And so the tempo of the game looks very odd. But if you look at what the Zerg has, the Zerg doesn't have that much more either. And one of the things, when you get the Nexus up like that, you're getting a lot of probes out, right?
Yeah, that's certainly true. He only lost like 1 probe this game or 2.
Right. I'm curious to see what would have happened this game had the drones kept scouting, right? And had he not he move to the next natural?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's probably one of the big key factors with this build.
Yeah, it's a pretty sneaky thing because people will turn around too early.
Yeah. Since just to explain to everybody, because fast expanding is so common, if you don't see anything in the natural, you go to the next location.
Yeah.
So he's actually got a lot of zealots. Now he's going to probably get +1 attack. He's going to get a citadel, and he's going to try to push out. And I don't know if that's always the plan.
Yeah, I think that this is a pressure move out.
Yeah, but I think an inevitability is going to be +1 in legs.
Yeah. Once he gets those, then he can really actually fight. But I feel like what he's doing right now, these Zealots walking across the map, these Zealots are never truly going to commit. He's forcing a ton of units here, and he can just pull back.
Yeah, you might be right.
If he is like, I'm going to go 2 gates, and then a late Nexus with a cannon, and then another cannon, and then I'm going to attack move with 8 slow Zealots without +1, if that's his strategy, I got to question that.
Well, but you notice he can go really far out of the map because the number of Zealots is actually so high. Yeah. It's not like when we see fast expanding Protosses where they send like 1 or 2.
But a situation like this feels to me, Tasteless, like he is just dancing here. Never a full committal.
Well, I mean, he's gone so far out. It looks like the angling here is going to be very good for many. He can keep trying to swap the positions of the Zealots. But I don't know, can he actually get any further in here? I feel like he's basically gone far enough he has to commit.
All right, we'll see if that works for him. It is a lot of Zealots still.
We don't have any Hydras out here, and you really couldn't use the positions of the structures, right?
Yeah, the Zealots are all getting kind of low, though.
Yeah.
And once he loses... Oh, he's killed a decent amount of drones there. What did he get, 3-4 drones?
Yeah, I think he might have even gotten a little bit more. Here's the problem: is this looks really funny, but the truth is that you have so many more Zealots you would normally have to press for this thing.
Yeah, and he did get another drone there as well. So, I mean, he killed a decent amount of drones. I guess that the attack kind of worked, but I look at this, I'm like, okay, you built all up to that. Was that enough damage for the amount you put into this?
But I don't think it's about that. It's that he has enough probes back at home.
Yeah.
He's not making them. He's actually stopped making probes, so maybe I'm wrong, but if they're not making drones and you've made enough probes behind this, the Zerg is in an uncomfortable spot here.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, the Corsair gets to roam now. The Corsair gets to scout and identify, like, okay, is there a layer coming here? How many hatches do you have? What direction are you going to take this game? And again, I'm really interested in the fact that Mini just halts probes.
Well, he's added more gates. He's obviously getting legs. +1 should be done relatively soon.
Right.
So he's going to be on 4 gates. I mean, once you have 4 gate speed bots +1 and you killed some drones and forced a lot of things out, which means less drones for him, are they even going to be able to support the unit count that they need here?
I'm not sure. I mean, this is actually one of the more fun games we get to cast because it's such an unusual opening here by Mini. I mean, he's basically said that there's the right number of probes on these patches. He doesn't need a single one more.
Yeah.
And I think, keep in mind that there's actually no easy place for Zerg to take a 4th. That's something worth noting. You can try to play a game where it's like the Protoss just fights a Zerg on 3 bases.
As a 2 base?
Yeah, as a 2 base. Well, 2 base Protoss is pretty damn strong once you have Psystorm up and the rest of the upgrades. Zerg needs to get a 4th up, and maybe the pressure's actually paid off.
Well, Soulkey right now is on 5 hatches, so that's some pretty good production. He's re-droned reasonably well. A few more probes being added by Mini. And +1 is done. Adding these at least 1 more gate. Okay. It's like he's really getting the pressure, and speed should be done any time now. I think it actually is done, yeah. Look at that Mini.
Yeah, so he's coming out on the map here.
These Zealots are not messing around this time.
And again, the drone count, I mean, it's where it needs to be now, but these Zealots can keep everything back. I am worried, though, here, because there's going to be enough Hydras on the map where Soulkey can actually take a fight.
Yeah. And if he gets a tech any higher as well, it's like, you're just put so much money into speed bots here. Let's see. Up to 6 gates now. Expect to see Psystorm coming out.
Yeah, well, Psystorm's going to be the answer to the mass Hydras. It's kind of the answer to almost everything that Zerg has. But we also know that there should be lurkers incorporated here, right? I mean, the layer's done.
Yeah, relatively soon.
maybe Overlord speed here as well.
He's got his Robo, though, on the way. So,
yeah.
I mean, it feels like Mini has prepped this build and this map pretty well. I mean, I was a bit hesitant at the beginning, the way that he just kind of walked across the map. He's like, I made Zealots, I walk across the map. You know, it seems like such a strange, counterintuitive way to play. Like, how would you ever get anything done? But he's kept the pressure on. He's got a ton of units. And now he should have Psystorm done. So it seems a little bit scary right now for Soulkey. He needs to get those lurkers out.
Is that a Spire he's making? Yeah, it is. Okay. So basically, Mini is teched up. He's going to have observers. He's got the Psystorm. He's got everything that he needs, right? When Protosses get the rest of their tech up, they're happy. From there, the game is, it's not easy, but it's much more manageable. You're not having to try to use whatever tools you have to handle what the Zerg has. You've got everything you needed here, and you're basically just macroing and fighting now. And so, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's just added 2 more gates, and he's getting Goon range. So he's going 8 gates. He's got Storm. He's got +1. He's got speed lots, a ton of them.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do.
And now he's just going to go into Mass Dragoons, huh?
Well, yeah, he'll complete his unit composition with the Dragoons, because what Soulkey has to do in this position is try to get another base up and turtle. Because it's very tough for Soulkey to actually fight this army.
Yeah.
But if you look at this map, and I think that we're now seeing why Mini did this strategy, look at the map. Where does Zerg actually expand? Maybe, I guess, the bottom right, if he could sneak it.
I feel like he'll take the mineral base that's on his high ground stretch with his natural.
But if he does do that, I think the Protoss can actually push it.
Yeah, I think he can push it, but you can kind of Sim City there a little bit, and I think it's hard for Protoss to break. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's where you would take your 4th. I guess we'll see. But Soulkey not taking a 4th as of yet.
Kind of weird to see those Dragoons left over there. Okay, he adds them to a control group and moves out.
A lot of Hydras.
Now, he's going to also, I think, use drop here. Just seeing that number of Overlords.
Yeah.
And what he wants to do is anytime that Protoss pushes out, now, you have to think that Mini should have known this could have possibly come.
Sure.
But he does not have enough to deal with this.
2 cannons.
And I feel like even though Mini had this great setup, he's nearly maxed out. Protoss can max out very quickly when they're at 150 supply. He's going to lose his main. And this army cannot get back here in time.
Those Hydras did a great diversionary tactic. The army of Mini's so far out of position. Do you counterattack? Do you go back to save your base? He's choosing a counterattack, which, I mean, might be able to do something, but you pick off a couple observers that are in that attack.
Yeah.
You wear them out of Psystorm, you win the space trade, 100%.
Well, he's going to try to just hold...
Shoot eating 100%.
I think what he wants to do is try to push into the natural and then go inside the main here. And if he can do that, then maybe he can pull something off.
He's getting into Mutas, actually, for this base trade.
Well, this game's gotten officially very weird. It looks like that Mini will roll over the main and the natural. I mean, there's no way to stop this. There's just nothing here. There's still observers in the game. There's still probes that can mine. And in fact, I don't think these gateways are going to be taken out. If the gateways are not taken out and the Protoss is still mining, I don't think the Protoss is under any kind of real threat to close the game out.
Well, Soulkey, it seems like he must just make mass Sunkens in the top right. I feel like that's the only way you can stop this marauding army, right? Other than that, it's just like a true base trade where you're trying to kill buildings.
Yeah, he might try to go and actually kill buildings, and I think that's probably Soulkey's best bet. The problem is I don't think he can get in here and actually wipe out the rest of these structures, right? There's too many Dragoons and Templars here, right?
Well, the Templars are not going to live very long against these Mutas. There's not enough Dragoons to truly kill them.
In fact, I think, well, basically Soulkey has to hold this position at the top right.
Yeah, he has almost no money right now.
Now, these Hydras are coming in here and doing a pretty serious amount of damage.
Yeah, the probes having to come out and fight. Of course, with those Mutas there, the probes are going to have a hard time.
Notice Mini has a lot of money in the bank, okay? He's actually got a big army on the map. I mean, I don't see what's stopping Mini from just going back home and saving his natural expansion here. And then I think from there, it's a Zerg with 1 hatchery marooned to the top right part of the map.
That's quite true.
And I guess Soulkey just loses, right?
I would think so. I'm a little bit surprised on the Muta switch. I really felt like if he was just picking off observers, that might have been the best way to win this space
I think
trade.
that's why we saw the Mutas made, but then the Protoss has already come in there and smashed through that base.
Huh.
Well, I got to say, man, Mini's weird strategy is now giving us our first win from a Protoss versus Zerg on Roadkill.
It does look that way, doesn't it? But hold on, this lurker. This lurker's keeping the dream alive.
GG. Tied up 1-1. Cool.
All right. That was a cool game.
Yeah,
You
I enjoyed that.
don't see that every day. That's for sure.
Yeah, every once in a while, these weird two-gate builds where you kind of squeeze your way out and look for any holes, anything you can do, and yeah, just do your best to try to pull it off. You can see Mini totally relieved there. I mean, had Mini lost that, he'd be down 0-2, and I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine 3-0ing Soulkey, no matter who you are.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, well, tied up. We're going to go to a quick commercial break here, I think, Tasteless. When we come back, we see who takes that edge.
That's right, it's even so far. This is a best of 5. We'll be going to game 3 in a little bit. Soulkey will be the player who gets to choose the map, as the loser does get that opportunity. But we have to wait. Okay, we are ready. Let's go to that break. When we come back, game 3, guys, stick around.
We're too late. This entire city must be purged.
자, 패자전 경기 시작이 됐습니다. 먼저 왼쪽에 앉아 있는 조기석 선수를 먼저 여러분께 비추어 드립니다. 좀 외모도 많이, 그러니까 뭔가 선수들이 마음을 다 잡을 때 가장 먼저 생각하는 게 진영화 선수도 그렇잖아요. 다이어트를. 물론 이몽규 선수는 필요 없어.
근데 진영아 선수가 다 봤잖아요.
예.
지금 투팩에서 3팩 올라가고 있고 나는 게이트웨이가 지금 4개에서 6개째가 올라가는데 이러면 병력이 내가 2배는 더 많을 것이고 아비터가 나왔을 때 리콜이 아닌 정면을 뚫어도 뚫릴 수 있겠구나. 이런 결정까지 지금 내릴 수가 있는 상황이기 때문에 진영아 선수가 선택할 수 있는 카드가 많아졌어요. 리콜을 해도 되고 아니면은 제3의 멀티를 돌리면서 테란의 공이업이 끝나기 전에 아비터와 함께 정면 뚫어버리기. 근데 여기까지 가능한 진영아입니다.
자, 두 번째 아무리 올라가고 있고 공이업은 끝났습니다.
그래도 조기석 선수가 굉장히 좀 타이트하게 병력을 지금 찍으면서 세 번째 멀티를 가져가는 판단은 정말 좋죠. 방금 말씀해주신 것처럼 뭔가 셔틀 질럿이나 이런 것들에 대한 압박이 없게끔 만들려면 지금처럼 3팩토리에서 병력을 꾸준히 찍고 어느 정도 수비할 수 있는 기반이 마련됐을 때 커맨드를 가져오는 판단은 조기석 선수도 어려운 와중에서 베스트 판단을 해줬습니다.
자, 확장하면서 일단 수비 대응을 펼치고 있는 조기석 선수.
근데 이거는 그 아래쪽을 서플 심스티로 완전 틀어 막아버리고 언덕 쪽을 좀 자리 잡고 있어 보는 게 좋은 게요. 그 진영아 선수가 옵쪽으로 다 봤기 때문에 이건 아비터 타이밍에 스테시스 필드 한 번만 제대로 들어가면은 그 정면 뚫릴 수도 있습니다.
그렇죠.
근데 저 조기석 선수의 체제 자체가 원팩에서 탱크를 모으면서 업그레이드와 팩토리를 강제로 거의 쥐어 짜듯이 늘리는 거기 때문에 진영아 선수가 아비터, 첫 아비터 타이밍에 분명히 한 번 나올 수가 있어요.
자, 첫 아비터 만화를 현재 80, 90 정도까지 채웠을 것으로 판단됩니다. 자, 벌처의 찌르기에도 당하지 않고 있는 진영화 선수.
지금 진영원 선수가 정말 잘해주는 부분들은 마인 제거를 계속 하러 돌아다니고 있거든요. 이런 부분들은 테란의 시야를 차단하기 때문에 공격 올 수 있는 어떤 루트 이런 것들을 진영원 선수가 오는 것을 확인하기 힘들죠.
오호, 여기도 괜찮은데요. 추가 확장을 한번 건드려 보고 있는 진영화 선수. 아래쪽에 탱크가 있긴 합니다만.
네, 저게 지금 벌처가 프로보드를 계속 끊어주면서 4멀티를 늦추는 효과는 있지만요.
예.
오히려 4멀티가 느리면은 병력의 집중이 더 많이 돼서 더 많이 나와요. 그래서
그렇죠.
네, 저게 지금 아비터가 나왔기 때문에 병력 한번 꽉 모아서 탱크 진짜 한 4기 정도만 제대로 올리면은 이거 정면이 위험해질 수도 있습니다.
자, 만화를 많이 채워놨어요. 전진하기 시작하고
그
있는
뚫기를-
발업도 끝났고요.
뚫기를 할 것 같거든요. 지금 움직임을 봐서는. 그리고 조기석도 어느 정도 눈치는 챘어요. 그래서 탱크 배치를 보시면 지금 띄엄띄엄 배치를 하고 있는데 확실히 병력의 숫자 차이는 굉장히 많이 납니다.
자, 50가량 차이
자,
나죠.
뭉치기,
오!
뭉치기 리콜.
뭉치기,
뭉치기 리콜이에요.
대회에서
드디어
대회에서 이걸
9부대 넘게 떨어집니다. 이
자!
리콜. 와, 뭉치기 리콜이에요.
자, 5점까지
뭉치기 리콜을 과연 진영원 선수가
진영원!
뭉치기 리콜.
야, 이게
와!
공식 대회에서
이걸 보다니. 프로브도 왔어요. 저 넥서스 씌울 수도 있습니다. 이걸 보다니. 저 프로브가 이몽규의 마음을 가지고 있다면 저거 넥서스예요. 그동안에 안경을 서름을 씻어버리는 것 같은
사실
뭐가 됐어요.
사실 팬들에게 욕 많이 먹었거든요.
맞아요. 그 말씀을 드리고 있습니다. 야, 이러면서 1시까지.
야, 이러면서 아직까지 들어가면
와,
지금 완벽
이거 양방이에요.
네, 못 막죠. 지금 본진도 축대만 되고 있고 한시 들어가죠. 한시까지 진영아.
쪽도 진영에서 바로 찔러. 야, 본진이 아직도 정리가 안 됐는데.
네.
야, 이거 큰일 났습니다. 저기서. 그러면서
와.
6시까지 가고 있어요.
6시도 먹고 있고요. 추가 병력 계속 뛰어 올라옵니다. 진영아 선수.
네, 프로브 한 마리 아주 살아있거든요. 정말 그동안의 모든 자신에게 쏟아지는 화살을 경기력으로 보여주는 것 같은 진영아 선수입니다. 야, 진영아 선수가 공식 대회에서 뭉치기 리콜스가 처음 나왔거든요.
Get ready for it. Here we All right, we're back. Go for it, Artosis. Don't stop.
It's like I'm just playing air guitar here.
We've been having more and more fun as the cast goes on and on.
Indeed.
Cool game we had back there.
That was actually a cool game.
Game
Game 1 not as much, but Game 2 absolutely.
Game 1 was the easiest thing to cast, and Game 2 was one of the hardest things to cast. You don't see that strategy very often. It's really hard for the Protoss to pull it off. And also, Protoss don't normally win in a base trade against Zerg and StarCraft 1.
No, not too often. I felt like Soulkey's plan wasn't at 100%. I really liked it at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But then he's like hatching mutas slowly but surely. He doesn't have his Sunkens up and ready. It felt a little bit weird for that reason. Maybe he was just afraid of how strong Psystorm was going to be.
It also seemed like Soulkey was also caught off guard that the army didn't go back. Almost always you see the army return.
Yeah,
it's kind of like in PvT when you see the recall at the Terran's home. The Terran goes back.
Yeah.
The Terran does not be like, no, bro,
if
I
your
got
main
this.
gets recalled, the game is going to end.
Right.
Like you have to save your main. But
yeah.
Mini, I mean, he saved his main and killed Soulkey. So
Yeah.
what's that say? I don't know. What's it mean, Tasteless?
I don't know.
You're always complaining about PvZ.
Yeah.
Maybe Zerg should be complaining about ZVP. I don't know, Tasteless. I'm a Terran player. As far as I'm concerned, Protoss is the strongest race in the game.
So we're going to go to Circuit Breakers. And this is, of course, a map that was chosen by Soulkey. I can't say I'm surprised. I don't think anybody should be surprised by this.
I'm not surprised.
Now, Mini, what does he do? I don't think we're going to see the two-gate play again, but we did see Best, I think it was in an ASL, do the two-gate play and also make it work.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
you do it and it's weird enough, I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where two-gate play becomes. And note it again for the people that played 20 years ago, that's not the same 2-gate from back then where they like put the Zealots right up at the creep, and then at some arbitrary moment the Zealots come in there and kill the Sunken Colonies and Pillars wins the game.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Different era. That 2-gate's more of a balancing act between expanding and tacking and doing all that other stuff. Circuit Breaker, this is going to allow Soulkey to either do a crazy all-in or a solid macro game. And that's what Mini is probably going to be most scared about.
Yeah. It's a hard map for PvZ, no doubt. We saw the win percentage here is not actually that bad in ASL and KSL combined, but I think that's a small sample size. Macro-wise, this is a tough one to take off Soulkey.
Okay, we're tied up 1-1. Let's go to game 3, Soulkey versus Mini.
I want to see 2-gate again. And this is actually the best map in the pool for Cannon Rush. You can Cannon Rush behind the gas with a 2-pylon block.
Yeah.
So that's just something to keep in mind. I mean, Soulkey's been going over pool each game, so I'm not sure that is actually a worthwhile thing to do, but you could see it. I mean, I don't think you want to get into a straight-up macro game here at all. You got to do something. You got to bring the spice.
I think, yes.
That's what they call it, right?
That's right.
You got to bring the spice, Tasteless.
You know,
You don't want these bland-ass macro Protoss builds.
man.
No.
No.
Saw what happened to Light bringing his bland macro builds.
I want a PvZ, not a glass of water, okay?
Oh, my God.
Now, I'm wondering here for Mini what he really wants to do. If he has any weird tech after he gets the expand up. One thing for the Protoss is there are so many bases on this map, it's stressful to keep track of them. Generally, the Zerg can expand in fairly predictable patterns, whether they try to stay almost entirely in their upper quadrant, in this case in the upper right, or if they try to take another natural. But it's still, it's tough. It's a big map, it's an open map, and Mini's going to have to be ready for that.
Yeah. Okay, so it is pool before hatchery, of course, as we see here. Let's see what building that Mini is going to want to put down. It looks like a forge. So we'll be going for that forge expand unless he wants to try the Cannon Rush. I mean, I'd like to see it. I want to just see Mini just continually do cheesy stuff to Soulkey.
I think he could do it this time, man. Problem is, it's always this weird moment, too, where you're like, I gotta make it look like I'm gonna block, even if I'm not. Oh, what if he killed the drone? Yeah.
Get out of here.
So at this point in time, yeah, I was gonna say he'd probably put a pylon down there. Just try to buy a little bit more time. It's actually very annoying for the Zerg if they can't get that hatch up right away.
Yeah. He'll just take it at the mineral base, so that's generally where we see Zergs put their third, and they can put the natural then at the actual natural. Yeah, this is part of the reason why this map is really good for ZVP. You know, the mineral base, a third mineral base for Protoss is just not that good. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can make more Zealots, but by the time a third is up and running, you actually need more gas, not minerals. Whereas Zerg is totally fine with the minerals.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Certain matchups, one race is fine with having extra minerals.
Yes, like Terran is fine against Zerg.
Right.
Zerg is
You're
fine
like,
against
great,
Protoss.
more Marines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Zerg versus Protoss, great. More Hydras and Lynx.
Protoss and Terran, they're about the same. Like, both can deal with the third base mineral base.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a mineral base up, it's like, I guess I'll just have more Dragoons.
Yeah, something
I'll stay
like
higher
that.
in the Dragoon tech. They'll have more Vultures. We'll figure it out. But for the Protoss in this case in the matchup, the Protoss needs gas badly. Yeah. You need gas for, first of all, you need an insane amount of upgrades. You're constantly upgrading as Protoss in this matchup. You're getting Zealot legs, you're getting +1 attack, you're getting Psystorm, you're getting Dragoon range, you're eventually going to be getting Observer speed. You're just trying to get all these upgrades.
Yeah.
I think more upgrades early on in this matchup than maybe any other matchup that I can think of, at least for the start, before you can actually get out on the map.
There's
and
a lot
do
of crucial upgrades for PvZ, no doubt.
And so, you're just trying. Wait, I'm sorry. Where were we going with this idea? That was a point I was trying to make, but I was suddenly trying to figure out. Oh, because that's why you need the extra gas. You want a third gas.
Oh, okay.
You don't want a mineral only, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
I had forgotten too, and I was about to throw you under the bus. I'm like, I don't know, Grandpa. Just keep going.
Now,
By the
This
way,
is actually going to be an all-in, by the way.
Yes.
From Soulkey.
he's doing a great job of denying this pro from
He's
coming
like,
back
you need
to
to
the main.
scout and know what upgrades you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
But he's not supposed to get the upgrades because he needs cannons. This is an all-in.
He just doesn't know. Like, Zealot kind of went up there, but kind of didn't go far enough. Now, I'm worried for Kenny right
The
now.
Stargate is to get the Corsair out to scout, but of course you're always insecure about the possibility of the rush. And we don't have a second cannon. And once the first cannon goes down, cannons warp in and die incredibly fast, whether it's Lings or Hydras.
It's
or
a
anything
weird
else.
thing.
It's
I don't understand the mechanics behind how quickly warping in buildings die compared to regular buildings.
Yeah, but I think it's cannons specifically that die faster than other warping in buildings too. Warping in Nexus doesn't die anywhere near as fast as warping.
Well, it
in
has
cannons.
more health.
No, but I mean, I think it's it's got. I think there's even more to it. I have to check that, or this is my insane bias kicking in.
Well,
I'm like, no.
it feels that way, but I don't think it's actually true because the last balance patch that occurred, I don't think they could have figured that one out.
Now, seeing this one Hydra,
yes,
might actually save the day. Even if you lose the Zealots,
yeah,
it's actually worth losing all the Zealots.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's gonna come here.
You see speed on
Coming
the
for
Hydras
ya.
too. This is really good for Mini. This is fantastic for Mini.
I love that he's even running forward.
This is Mini's birthday.
I love that he's even coming in and actually damaging the Hydras.
Yeah.
So they're basically not going to be as useful in the rush.
Dude, this is like Soulkey just has to transition. He can't really try this, can he? I guess he's going to. He has a lot of Hydras. Okay, he adds another hatch.
I
now.
think the thing is, I think he actually had enough workers already that he gets to basically continue to grow in hatch numbers and try to do this bust.
Yeah.
I saw Jadong do this in one of those games. We're like, this is an all-in. We go back, it's got 5 hatches. And we're
Yeah.
Like, huh. Sorry, we don't know. Then Psystorm finished, and he just dodged the one storm and killed him. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand this game.
Yeah, so I feel like Mini is doing pretty well, despite the fact that we see Soulkey adding some more hatches. He scouted what's going on. The Hydras really are not doing all that much. He was getting +1, right? So that's kind of a sad thing.
Well, did the Hydras take that out? I know they got the gateway. I would assume they could probably
They
hit the
will
forge.
get it out. They will be able to take it out.
So yeah, now there's no gateway up here. So we got to watch this closely. Let's see if more Hydras actually come down, because even though the cannons are up, sometimes it's not enough. But of course, Zerk can always totally shift gears, make a bunch of drones, macro up. I mean, we see gases coming up here, and Zerk seems to be fine.
Yeah, he certainly does. Like, Soulkey is on the macro path now. And Mini at least getting the scouting done with these Corsairs, trying to harass a little bit, but some Hydras staying at home to push them away. Yeah, Mini just getting into his gateways now. Certainly going to need to get Psystorm.
So he's still got Hydras coming out, guys, because he did drone up enough early on here. And those gateways are only just now finishing for Mini. By the way, it doesn't seem like Mini was investing in more and more Corsairs. Now, considering he lost a gateway and a forge, that means he's going to have to invest that money somewhere else. He's not massing this up. It looks like a lot of that went to the cannons because, again, sometimes cannons alone are not enough. We're going to see if that's going to be the case now.
Well, some probes coming out. Zealot fighting as well. Oh my god, it looks like he's going to break a few of these down, but no way he's going to get through all of them. Of course, there was another forge made as well, so he can't remake cannons.
Now, in theory, it used to be that if you had the storm, you could stop the rush, but we have seen moments where Zergs will just very craftily move out of the way of the storms, and then come back in. And one of the beautiful things about this for the Zerg is that the Protoss is spending all this money not dying. These cannons don't give you any real value later on.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess something against counterattacks, but you're certainly right. It's like you would rather have mobile units, and this is one of the things that especially back when RTS was a bit younger and less understood, would really separate some of the newer players and make it a lot harder on them. It's like you feel safe building the cannons, and indeed, Mini is safe here. But if you overbuild them, it's like, well, each one of those could have been a gateway. Yeah,
It's this weird thing where you end up with a lot of players who are new to RTS learning the game in the wrong direction, because the more cannons they make, the longer their game goes. And in their mind, they view that as, well, I've essentially done a better job. I lasted against a good player X number of minutes instead of 3 or 4 minutes less. But in reality, you made your chances actually much worse. That's why understanding the balancing act of, you know, having defense, having production, having tech, or knowing when to halt that and really commit to one or the other is key. And so Mini's not dead, but Mini's going to have to come out here, and I think he's done this balancing act, by the way, quite nicely.
Yeah.
He's going to have to come out here with a pretty robust army and start smashing these bases. And I know that Soulkey's aware of that. Now, all these, what is this? This is, what, 7 gateways?
Yeah.
So Soulkey goes in there and gets confirmation that basically all the gateways that Mini needs are up. Mini might go up to another gateway here in a little bit, but for the most part, basically he has what he wants.
Yeah, he's definitely got a pretty sizable army coming along right now. Sidestorm going to be absolutely crucial, but Soulkey's on 4 bases against 2. So there is a bit of a timer here for Mini.
Look at this. Dragoons in the main. He's expecting a drop here.
Well, either a drop or, yeah, I mean, he's got mineral, in his mineral line as well, some cannons at the natural. So I was wondering, is he thinking mutas? Like, he lost his Corsairs, right? So maybe he's a little bit afraid of a tech switch.
Sometimes when the last Corsair dies, Zerg will just switch into only muta.
Yeah, it's pretty...
And then suddenly, when Protoss is trying to move out, the mutas fly in the main and kill the workers, or they fly over and kill the Templars.
Looks fun to play against.
Oh yeah, it's just... When I'm losing on my Templars, I just scream, I love this game!
I actually scream things like that sometimes, too.
So right now, the map is a dark and scary place here for Mini. He just doesn't know what the Zerg's up to. And what it appears that Soulkey's up to is kind of just powering up with a lot of Hydras, a lot of Lings. Yeah. And he's got some Scourge out here in case he could snipe any of those Overlords.
Mini needs fantastic storms. I don't think that this is going to work.
Well, this is pretty straightforward here for Soulkey. I mean, he'll turtle up with the Lurkers and stay back.
How do you break this?
Well, a lot of times you try to look for, you want to make the Lurkers rotate around and try to hit wherever they're not, but we see a lot of Protosses die this way.
I meant it as a rhetorical question, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Also, keep in mind that the Protoss is going to try to expand, but the Protoss did not get the expand up before he pushed out. So a simple counterattack will deny this third.
Okay, let's see. Can he actually break? Every time people try to attack uphill into Lurkers here, it hasn't worked out really. Let's see. I mean, he does have a decent number of storms, for sure.
This area is a little bit boxy, so storms can be utilized a little bit better.
Good observer placement on the second one. He does lose the first one.
And there you
picks
go.
Off a few. Yeah,
now that's
exactly
the more important point there, is that the third base is denied.
You know, the funny thing, too, is he has a Lurker on hold position down there waiting in case
that
ever gets up.
He's basically, like, really been ready for everything. In case the counterattack is working. Probe.
Loses that observer, so that is definitely going to slow down this push. You have to kill all the Lurkers with storms, and it takes 2 unless they have a damage.
Did he get speed for observers?
I do not believe so. Oh, I like that third. Why not?
Well, it's definitely a better third to take here. He can keep pressure on.
Yeah.
You know, the mineral only is not ideal. Of course, there is the chance that Zerg can just Lurker drop that expansion over and over, so he's probably going to have to fill that up with cannons.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a gas base. At least it's in the path of where he's attacking. This is something that we talk about a lot in StarCraft 2, where you're kind of rallying up. If you're keeping on pressure, expanding behind your pressure, like literally right behind it, is actually a great way to defend it.
Okay, good interception here with these Lings taking this out. Now, if he can tear through all the Lurkers over here, there's a chance there's a weak spot. He can just hit. My concern, though, is that when you see supplies this even, that he's Zerg's way ahead.
Yeah, quite true. And now that he's up in supply as well, you're still battling uphill. The amount of Lurker spawns I've seen hit that huge clump of Zealots does not reassure me that Mini is about to take this game.
Yeah. Look at how patient Soulkey is in this position, by the way.
Yeah.
He knows that Protoss is the one that actually has to come up with a plan here. He knows that Protoss is, the longer the game was on, the worse it is for Protoss. Protoss is going to third base, doesn't start really doing damage. So he's basically set up a wall and is saying, all right, let's go. Come on. Yeah. And he knows he's going to trade favorably against the Protoss because of this.
And Mini is kind of bashing his head into it right now. These link counterattacks actually do surprising amounts. God, there's way too many Lurkers to attack into.
And these small groups of Lings that come in here, he doesn't even have a Dremel yet, but still these cannons are going to go down. It's really forcing Mini to try to defend every location that he possibly can.
Doesn't feel like Mini's going to be in this much longer. Things are starting to fall apart. Defiler tech on the way. That is really the kill move against Protoss when you start throwing down plagues on their army.
I'm just looking at this and I'm trying to figure out what he's looking to do to win this, and I don't know what it is. I don't see it. Zerg can continue to try to throw stuff down here. Now these storms have been really nice, but keep watching the wave of Zerg units. You tell me he comes out on top in the end. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's not the Protoss.
Soulkey.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, from here, this wave should be able to push down here, and I think even take out this third base. And with no third base, we go to game 4.
Well,
there it is, GG.
Okay. So Soulkey takes that macro game, but Circuit Breakers is a tough one.
It is.
For PvZ. Don't let the stats trick you. Zergs love to pick this map against Protoss, especially when you got a player like Soulkey.
Okay.
What do you do as Mini? What's the play?
I don't know, man.
2-gate.
2-gate in the middle, 2-gate in the main.
2-gate anywhere you want. Maybe 1 in the middle and 1 in the main.
When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
Yeah.
Is that how the expression goes?
1-gate, 2-gate, Zealots on the interstate, Tasis.
Yeah.
Let's go to roadkill.
Okay. What is Mini going to do? I don't think he can win if he tries to do fast expand against him. I mean, there's... What? What are you giggling about?
I was just, you're like, what's Mini going to do? And I'm like, thinking to myself of him rolling up like a pill bug because he's like just got pummeled so hard. It's like, oh no! He's getting into the fetal position.
I mean, when you look at these games, I think that maybe Mini could have actually won game 1 with the proxy gate. The problem is, I mean, can you proxy gate every game? Like, not really. Soulkey hasn't really done anything too cheesy yet either. He had set up to do potentially an all-in, but he had enough drones that he could continue to grow behind it. I don't know, man. Soulkey never seems to have any kind of weakness. You know how when we casted Light earlier today, it was really clear that Light has a certain way of playing it. Ware is going to try to come in there and end the game before Light gets to where he wants the game to be, where he can actually utilize his strengths. But when you watch Soulkey play, what are we looking for as far as Soulkey's weakness? I don't really see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is why we keep saying he should be winning a tournament.
Yeah.
Is because he probably has the least weaknesses overall amongst every Zerg.
He's the Dr. Manhattan of Zergs.
He's something like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's...
Like Mini's like Rorschach, and I'm like, well, you got a cool mask. I mean, it changes. It's an ink blot. That's cool.
Yeah, I know that is
But
cool.
Soulkey is in the past and the future and the present at all times.
Yeah, and his macro is really good, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And he looks really smart because he is, and he wears glasses.
I know.
So
You know who else wore glasses? Oh, Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But did he once he became an all-powerful being?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm just going to
in their
say yes.
hipster shades, it's like you got the glasses on with no lenses.
That's fine. He can do that.
You know what that's weak against is the Three Stooges, man. They wreck you.
That's right. Their eyeball poke is too strong.
Yeah.
You have your defensive hand come up, the karate
Mo will
chop.
take you out.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to go to Fighting Spirit because my favorite ice cream is vanilla.
Yeah. I don't want a PVC. I want a glass of water.
I want a glass of water, not a PVZ. No ice.
No ice.
No ice.
Not
I don't
quite
want it
room
cold.
temperature. I want
It
just-
hurts my teeth and I drink it. I want a basic glass of water from the sink.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm not paying for it. I'll
All
give
right.
you back the cup.
Okay. Let's do this, guys. It's time for Game 4. Soulkey with a 2-1 lead.
Well, Tasis. Cross spawns.
Here we are, Artosis.
Here we find ourselves once
That's
again. I'm Fighting Spirit.
Right here over at the desk, it's Casting Spirit.
Casting
That's where we are at on the map. It's a
Oh
Casting
my
Spirit.
God.
Yeah. All right. Okay,
Two
it's in the
gates.
main. Two gate.
I'm so excited that he's doing this again.
Well, I think he's looking at this and saying, well, I mean, what worked before?
Yeah.
I don't think he planned a 2-gate on Fighting Spirit, but
You don't think so?
I think he planned a 2-gate on Roadkill, and it worked. And I think even he's looking at himself and going, whoa, okay. I got away with that one.
Yeah.
And then he lost the next game. He's saying, all right, let's just do it again. If I win another one, then there's only one more game. Take it one game at a time.
Okay. I'm excited to see how he pulls this one off. It's going to take a little bit for Soulkey to scout it. And do you think it'll be the same where he just takes the Nexus? I think so, right? I think it's going to be pretty much exactly the same. But won't Soulkey then, tasteless, do a better counter than last time?
What? you're like deciding what they're doing and then why it's bad, and then how it stopped, and then.
And I want your
And then-
answer, tasteless, as to why he would do
You're
that.
like, and then here's how Soulkey gets in a fight with his girlfriend after the tournament because he's mad at what he did. It's like, what? What are you talking about? First of all, with a 2-gate build, there is still a chance he actually takes the gas and slow pushes out.
Okay.
And it doesn't look pretty, but sometimes it can work. But there's also the chance that he does do the Nexus. You're right.
Thanks.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Now, let's watch the scouting drone. Well, actually, I don't have any control over this broadcast, but if our observer
Watch on
decides
the
to watch
mini-map.
it. All right, we got the mini map. Let's watch this. We got done with. I've been spoiled by BlizzCon, where I'm like, with the crowd watching, I'm like, let's take a look at the 4th base, and then it goes there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I am a god. But let's see if the 4th drone actually turns around. Nope, he's going to go ahead and check in the main just to be safe.
Now he has no idea. There could be a carrier on the way. He doesn't
There's
know.
no way to know. And so, we have no gas taken yet. Oh, wow, if he could actually get that drone. Oh, my God, he needs to make sure he denies the scout.
Well, he certainly knows it's 2 gates now when you see
Yeah.
3 zealots at this point.
No, this is just too hard to tell. The 3rd zealot would have just made really fast. He warped in like super fast.
Chrono boosted it.
Minnie went in there and he was like, come on! And that guy just showed up.
Come on!
We're the KSL! What are you guys doing?
Come on, guys!
Yeah. So, these zealots are going to come across the map, and he's actually going to go for the 3rd base. Now, this is fun for me to watch, because to see 2 players of this caliber with this strategy panning out. Now,
Yeah,
note he got the gas, by the way.
Dude, this 3rd
Not the
base is
Nexus.
screwed, right?
It might be. You know, it
And
seems
he is
like
getting the gas. You're right. It's not
Yeah,
just the Nexus. Oh, my God.
yeah.
Look at that. Well, I'm glad he's not just doing the same thing, because Soulkey would have countered it better than the last time.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that would have been dumb.
And then it would have been Minnie
See?
fighting with his girlfriend after the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Save ourselves a lot of heartache, guys.
So what you're doing in this situation is you're knocking the Zerg back on 2 base and also back into the year 1999 as far as StarCraft 1 looks.
I know.
So, okay,
But he should have 2 probes with those zealots if I know anything about 1999.
Oh my God!
Oh.
And sorry, I meant 1998 because then the Zealots weren't on hold position at the
Yeah.
entrance. But
No one knows about that.
yeah,
Oh, brutal.
so
That probe taste just went right down.
I'm glad we got you mic'd up so we can watch our toes just feel the pain. Oh, yikes!
I hate Zerglings in the main base.
So
So annoying. He's going to delay the turrets and the mutas are going to come. Taste and I hate it. Ah! Get him out of here. You're not good because you got Zerglings in the main.
this is interesting because had he stopped those links from coming in, this would be so good for the Protoss. So he gets the Stargate up, and he's going to get the Nexus behind it.
Yeah.
Because the Zealots are there at the front, he hasn't identified any kind of threat. The Zerg's turtling. He can get that set up. I'm sorry, did he not make a Corsair?
Not yet. He had to buy a Nexus. Now
Okay, now he's doing it. So the Corsair goes in there. He needs to see, is it a Spire or is it a Dead? And is there a layer?
Yeah.
And so with this build, you're basically trying to just catch a glimpse of what's happening and counter it and slowly navigate this to where you can come out on top. And Zerg needs to figure out, can I get a 3rd base or do I want to try to do some kind of all-in?
Yeah. Well, a lot of speedlings coming up right now. A little bit nervous for Mini.
He needs to
Like
get
a
this.
straight-up fight, maybe you can take that out,
Yeah,
but
he
if those
needs-
get by...
He needs to be positioned correctly here, or he will die. And 3 Zealots back here, that's a lot. It's going to make it hard for the Zerg to do anything, but it's the wall and we need to worry about. Even Mini's sending this back now. Ooh.
Another probe.
There's another emotional reaction to that. Urtos has felt that one.
Probes die, that sound is just kind of sad.
Yeah. So here comes that Corsair, and he's going to see it's a Spire, which is easily remedied by just having a cannon in the main, a cannon in the natural,
Yeah.
and then you keep making Corsairs, and you should be okay. And for the people that played StarCraft 1 more recently that look at this and think, no, you can get Scourge and go in there and take them out, not in the way this game is going tempo-wise. There's not the same all-in that you can easily execute to kill a Protoss.
It's kind of interesting that third hatchery is not done yet, but he does have the double gas, so he's definitely committing to Spire Tech for a bit. This Corsair better
Oh wait,
hightail
no,
it out of there.
he had double gas the whole time? Oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, he
I
can.
don't know how much he's mining from
He
there.
can come in here and do this.
Yeah.
I stand totally corrected. The whole time I was watching this, I thought he was on 1 gas.
This is a funny thing. The Corsair was trailing the Scourge.
So,
the Scourge can beat the Corsair. What's going on?
oh my
It's
God.
like when the cat chases the dog. Like, wow, they're so crazy.
So can he get the cannons up over here? He might have to evacuate the. Ooh.
All right. Gets him over the cannon. But they can kind of zone those out a little bit. Needs this cannon finish. Looks like it is going to finish.
So gutsy chasing this like this.
He's by a little bit of time at least. Oh my God. This Corsair.
Okay, so he holds
Ooh.
it. Yeah.
Very tight right there.
I know the Zealots going across the map. There's one thing that mutas don't kill fast, it's Zealots.
It's true.
So, he's going to go ahead and head back, but that might have forced Soulkey to make more defending units.
And this buys a little bit of time as well. Yeah, he does make another summon. But it buys a bit of time. He can get a cannon up at his natural. His natural isn't actually defended yet. Only that cannon in the front. So
Yeah.
that's good. And now his Corsair fleet is actually growing pretty well.
So-
Does Soulkey switch now?
I think Soulkey might decide that he's stuck going Scourge Muta and try to win the air fight. And if he wins the air fight, he goes the cannons, then he wins the ground fight as well. Kind of subtle detail, but sometimes it's actually worth trying to hockey cannons if you know where they're going to attack and transfer the cannon to target fire the Scourge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because a lot of times it's just the Scourge chasing your Corsairs, you're trying to run away. And then they send a drone in, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to win this game.
Until he makes the hatchery. Like, wait,
Yeah,
that
you're like,
far
what,
ahead?
what?
I don't
Yeah,
think so,
yeah.
right? Like, I think I can still win this game, can't I?
I've only done this strategy like 12 times this year, so I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, those Nita's actually putting on some serious damage here. That is a lot of Scourge.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh boy.
Good targeting.
Yeah, nice
If
micro by
if
Mini.
he keeps making Corsairs, the thing is, I think Zerg might just commit with getting more and more mutas here. I love the battery. The main, unfortunately, that's not the point where he decided to target that.
Two completed cannons as well. So more cannons on the way. Speedlink's running in.
Oh wow, it's gonna go right for the cannon.
That's
so
good.
smart. Yeah.
Handsome.
The thing is, I think there's enough Corsairs. All those mutas are pretty low on HP.
Yeah, but if a couple more Scourge come in, they are low. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Whoa! Ooh. Now Zealot legs should be coming here. He is getting +1 air attack.
Those mutas when they go like dark blue when they're just
Yeah,
about to
yeah.
die. I wonder if they're like so cold. You know?
I think it was like blueberry mutas, like antioxidant mutas.
Blueberry mutas.
Yeah. So he's gonna go for it again. Now, if Soulkey doesn't pull this off, guys, he should lose. We're kind of into the point of the sunken cost fallacy, where it's like he just has to keep doing this because if he goes into anything else, I guess it's not even a fallacy though, it's actually correct. If he stops and goes into something else, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
So he has to do this.
That's funny. Yeah, that's something I was actually talking about some at BlizzCon, how that doesn't exist in StarCraft.
Yeah.
It's not a sunken cost fallacy. It's if you put a bunch of money into something, you actually must make it work, unlike the stock market, for instance.
Yes.
you must indeed force this to pay off at least somewhat, or you're going to lose.
Okay, so we have these Corsairs continuing to roam around here and just try to keep this safe. Now we see the gateways coming up here. Corsair count staying alive. Soulkey looking for that opening where he can pounce with the Scourge and the Mutas. Oh!
Gosh. I mean, it is a big clutch of Corsairs there.
Yeah, the higher this number gets, the more impossible it becomes for the Zerg.
Does he have +1 on the Corsairs?
It should be done by now, yeah. I'm sure we'll click on the Corsair eventually here and find out. Now, keep in mind, actually, Soulkey's done a good job macroing here. I think I might have thought this was a little bit more all-in than it is, because I think most other Zergs wouldn't have handled this as well on this weird 2-gate open, 2-base Zerg, and slowly into the 3rd base.
Covered pretty well, it seems. But, I mean, he's been forcing a lot of Sunkens and a lot of units because of the Zealots as
The
well.
other question is with the pacing of this game, does he actually have enough Hydras, enough Lurkers to actually hold, with SimCity, to hold off an attack? Because you can have all the defense, but the Zealots can just come in there and smash you.
Yeah. Sunkens are good to a point, but if you get enough Zealots, you definitely can't kill them off. I love this Force Come Zealots coming into the main base and just having to go back and clear it. These 3 at the 3rd base. Looks like they won't kill as much, but this is buying a lot of breathing for Mini. Look at this, he's getting an Archon up. He has got a good, healthy Corsair count. Zealot, Archon, Corsair. Last time I checked, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is quite good against Zergling Muta.
Zealot, Archon, Corsair? Oh, yeah. No, that's the dream, man.
And you're never going to have +1 carapace for your Zerglings here. So the Zealots are going to shred. The Archons will one-shot.
Actually, I think he does he not have +1 carapace?
For his
ground? No, I think it's on his ground.
Does he?
Well, I saw the Zealot have +1 attack.
Yeah.
And it took 3 hits to kill a drone.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe
I think he did get it.
Oh. Soulkey's even better than I thought. No, he doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it?
All right,
I'm a liar.
I'll see you later.
All right, I'll get out of here. Oh, guys, sorry, I'm turning my caster badge in. I was just trying to do the right thing, okay? It was a tough call to make. But Protoss, by the way, is actually going to move out and really try to put the pressure on. Now, you got to be careful when you're doing this, Protoss, because you can easily overcommit and everything dies.
Yeah, I mean, there's lurkers out, so when you don't have detection other than the cannons at your main base, this is going to be a hard one to break. Yeah, see that? He's like, no, I'd rather not take 200 damage per shot of lurker.
So now our situation is a Zerg on 3 bases. Protoss looks like, unless the Corsairs neglect the 3rd, that Protoss should get 3 bases up. So yeah. I almost feel like for Mini here, there's nothing that requires him to try to do anything just yet. He just stays back.
Totally agree with you on that. I feel like he's in a really great spot because of that. Look how many Corsairs he has. He's one-shotting Scourge at this point. You know,
whoa. Now here's the thing. These are all going to die now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay. They are so low. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But, 4 is not going to be enough to do anything. The idea was right, though. With those Mutas come in there, try to take out Templars, reduce the Templar count overall.
But, okay, so the Lurkers are coming out. Yeah, we don't have Observers yet, but if it just zones well on the map, I don't think that the Zerg army is really that scary. Force them to burrow and unburrow multiple times, and eventually you're going to have the right tech to deal with this.
Especially with all those Scourge getting killed.
Oh, God, why is Mini's entire army in the top right?
Well, I think once he killed the Mutas and the Scourge, he's like, it's time to kill Overlords.
Zealots and Archons coming back. So I don't see an Observer.
Yeah, I don't see an Observer either, actually.
Yeah, so the Lurkers are a bit annoying right now.
Especially that one. What? Soulkey is this good?
Well, I would hope so. We've been talking him up for the last couple of years.
Yeah, one of these days we're going to be right, guys. He's going to win a tournament. We'll be like, see? Okay, somehow we still don't have Observers out. We do have a rowboat. You can see just on the edge of our screen here on the left, but I almost feel like Mini has made a series of bad moves in a matter of like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
That is suddenly Soulkey is just killing it right now. And I'm almost still trying to process this. Like, what?
So here's
where did he get? Was he late on the observatory?
Well, he might have been late, but the thing is that doesn't even matter. It's when he sent his entire army to the top right. It's like if you know that your opponent has lurkers, and you're in a good spot like he is, where you have like the Corsairs against the massive air army and everything, if he just zones, all you have to do there is zone. Make Soulkey burrow unburrow several times. This position never occurs that we're in right now.
We've had so many extra lurker shots come off here. This army should be so bruised. I'm actually worried that mass Hydras can win this fight.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no Templars with this, right?
Yeah, you morphed everything to Archons after spending the storms. This game is...
This is so weird.
It's going completely to Soulkey.
And now these Corsairs are going to be killed off, I think. Well, hold on.
He just doesn't have the storm to deal with this.
Well, I mean, Zealot Archon can do well. The thing is, we don't know what the HP is on everything, but I mean, this is so many Hydras. No, there's no way. Now, he is using the Corsairs to try to... It doesn't matter. GG! Soulkey.
That's too bad.
He just willed his way to victory there.
Yeah, Mini could have won that.
Well, Mini should have won that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Mini, definitely upset by that.
He's out of the tournament.
He played it really nicely. He had the upgrades. He was just so smart with how he handled everything. And then the army was in the bad spot.
Yeah.
Think about that. All the mutas were killed. All the Scourge were killed. That was what Zerg had for the most part. As Artos was pointing out, the army was out in a weird spot on the map.
Yeah.
Suddenly the Hydras and Lurkers get there, and there was no Observer. We do have to point that out. Because you could have killed that with some of the Zealots, some of the Dragoons. Instead, the Lurkers are there. If you go back and watch that game, guys, check out how many times Lurker shots connected with the army while we were waiting for the Observer. The fact that the probes were either evacuated or killed, I didn't actually catch it, at the second base. The fact that the workers in the third base were killed. It's like Soulkey pulled off 3 or 4 big wins in about, I guess, a little bit under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, even when Mini had finally put out all those fires, the next wave came in there, and he suddenly didn't have an army.
Well, by then it was like he just took way too much damage. You waste all your size storms, and the game's gonna end. Well, that was actually a nice match. It was way better than the first time they played, in my opinion. Very entertaining series here between Soulkey and Mini. Both players worthy of a top 8, but only one could make it this season.
That's right. I really did enjoy getting to cast that 2-gate play inside the main. It's really hard to pull off. You don't see it very, very often, but you can make it work.
Well, 2 Zergs advancing tonight.
Right.
Is it time for a balance patch?
David Kim, he did it again, guys. Now, I don't know. It's good to be back, everybody. I was out of Korea for about a month.
A month?
Yeah. Wow. That's a long time. Anyways, interview time.
Hello guys, we're gonna have an interview with the winner of Group B decider match, Soulkey. Congratulations on the win. Thank you. So now you beat Mini twice and advanced to the round of 8. How do you feel? You know, I feel like I was very lucky, and I'm really happy right now. I feel like I was a little nervous, you know, like my mind became just white, and I think I have to improve on that. Soulkey, you've shown like stellar performance in recent matches. And then second set, I actually anticipated the enemy's forward gate, but I think I couldn't take care of it properly. So you're saying that you weren't satisfied with your performance in that set. So you know, Mini is known to be quite good at those 2-gate builds. You know, but overall it was quite easy to anticipate. But you know, practically things don't work out all the time. And I feel like the last set, luck was definitely a big winning factor for me. Well, Soulkey, compared to Mini, you actually go very aggressive in the early phase of the game. I've been really aggressive in the past few weeks, and you know, I'm now actually fixating on just going for my own playstyle. Well, you definitely showed a lot of macro today. especially in the third set. It was like the quintessential Zerg play. In the third, the third set, just the whole game flowed as I expected it to be, and it was an easy set, to be honest. Well, that is true. It was a rough ride, but now you move to the round of 8. Last time, losing to Mine definitely cracked my mentality. If I do play against him again, I'll try win. You will be playing against Larva in the round of 8. How do you expect the matchup to go? ZVZ matchup, it's just a 50-50. Last year I actually beat Larva 3-0, so there's always the confidence. Soulkey, you always look so confident in the interviews. I really look forward to your stellar performance in the next match as well. Thank you, Soulkey, and that's the end of the interview.
All right, thank you so
Julio.
much, Andy.
Now that is a life-size Marine. Oh, never mind. We're back on camera. I was gonna.
It's not really life-size.
It's life-size. I wear it home.
You
Gun and
wear it.
everything. I'm walking through the street with a gun. Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you guys for joining us here today at the KSL. This is fun. It's good to be back. We have a few more weeks of StarCraft 1 action here.
That's right. Right up until the 15th of December. Of course, tomorrow night, we'll show you the schedule in a moment, but the other 2 decider matches, we have 6 of our top 8 prepared. 3 Zergs, 2 Terrans, and a Protoss thus far.
Yes. It's today was fun. I really had a good time. I thought we had way more exciting and complex matches than I was actually expecting. I really thought Light was actually going to smash.
I did too.
Ware, no disrespect to Ware, but Light's, of course, known to be so good in that matchup. And then the Mini versus Soulkey games, I thought Soulkey was going to come out, but it was really interesting to see how Mini approached the matchup and to see that in many cases he had the right idea, but the execution wasn't there. And that really is what StarCraft 1 is all about. The fact that you can't just have it all mapped out. You have to be able to juggle everything and play on your feet.
And I mean, you make a wrong move and comebacks become completely possible for your opponent.
Yeah.
Very difficult game in that regard. So it's nice to see Soulkey move on, though, just because he's due a championship, to be perfectly frank.
I really would love to see him win a tournament. I mean, he's looked at times like the best player in tournaments. I know we've had players like Flash who always looks godlike, or watching Bisu play before he went to the military and stuff. But, man, he's looked so strong, but unable to use that and pull that all the way through to a victory, whether it's KSL or ASL.
Don't forget, tomorrow we have another couple matches for you. The rest of the deciders of the round of 16, Bermuda, a.k.a. Jaehoon, going up against Sharp. That should be quite a nice one. Bermuda was surprisingly strong against Larva, to be honest. I really enjoyed that. And then